What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. Miller and I here. There he is. We're going to go out to the garage and take the Trans Am on the first drive of 2019. Now, the last upload I did, I installed Hawk's HPS 5.0 street pads and StopTech rotors. So those need to be bedded in. It's the last day before it's supposed to snow out, and the streets are pretty much cleared off, and there might be a little bit of salt or whatever left on the streets, but it's dry. So I'm going to go out and drive the car, and what we're going to do is bed in the brakes and kind of get it ready for the season, see what's up with it, see if anything's leaking, anything like that, or any new problems, and kind of get it shaken out, because I'll have a couple weeks to work on it here. So we got to get out and move the Dodge, and we'll get the car out and go follow Hawk's bed-in procedure, and we will see you, I guess, in the garage. You know, that is the worst noise on the planet. It's kind of like that noise that Lloyd makes in Dumb and Dumber. So I'll get the truck out of the way, take the Trans Am out. We're gonna go bed the brakes in real quick tonight before it snows tomorrow. So all I got to do to start the car for the season is to take off my little battery tender, the leads out of here, off we go. Apparently we've got ghosts of cars past. So here's the first cold start of the season, really. Looks like we got a leak. It's not good. Can't quite tell where it's coming from right now. Huh. Looks like power steering fluid, maybe. Hard to tell where it came from. I'll tell you this much, it feels good to be driving the car. Roads aren't perfect yet, but you know, the car's not a coffee table, it is meant to be driven, so I couldn't take it anymore. It's early April, the roads are dry, it's gonna be a pretty big snowstorm tomorrow, I guess, so this will be the last chance for probably a couple weeks. So we're just gonna head out today, bed in the brakes real quick. I'm gonna pull over, retorque the wheels, and then we're gonna bed in the brakes, and that'll be about it. Looks like I got a little bit of a leak, and the subframe connectors are still creaking. So there's a couple of projects to do right off the bat here this spring. So the bed-in procedure, I'm going to follow the street pad bed-in procedure on Hawk's website. It says to break in the new components, make 6 to 10 stops from 30 to 35, applying moderate pressure, and make an additional 2 or 3 hard stops from approximately 40 to 45. Do not drag the brakes. Allow 15 minutes for the brake system to cool down. Your brakes are now ready to use and can be driven normally. So, we'll go hit the highway. We're losing a little bit of daylight, but we'll get this done real quick, and then we'll head back to the garage and talk about what I bought as the next modification and show you what I'm talking about with the firewall flexing. Alright, so we'll do a few stops, about 35 miles an hour, not coming to a complete stop. Got time to do about 5 there. I'll do one more on camera, but you get the idea. It's nice being behind the wheel again, I'll say that much. It's been a long winter. Second time doing it, feels a lot better already. Alright, so I don't know if you can really see me. There we go. Sorry if it looks bad, the lighting is really bad right now. Did my first few stops from 35 miles an hour. We're going to take it up to about 45 and do it a couple times, and they should be bedded. I guess we'll see what happens here. Get a little bit faster and throw out the anchor. We're getting the third for this one. Feels pretty good. Pull over here. I'm going to let a car around me. Yeah, there you go. So we'll hit her again, 45 miles an hour, just like the website says. There we go. I'll hit the brake here. Wow. You know, I gotta say, they are a lot better than they were. That's for sure. What a difference pads and rotors made. To be completely honest, when I drove the car last year, it was downright scary stopping. You know, going from pretty good speed to trying to slow this big heavy car down, it was kind of a lot to ask for the original brake rotors and to the OEM type brake rotors and pads that were on it, and it was just a little bit of a tall order, especially coming from the Corvette. I think once these pads cool off, I'll throw the anchor out from a little bit higher speed, like 55 or 60 miles an hour, and I bet you it's going to feel like night and day difference. I'm really excited to see what they feel like. So far, big thumbs up for this upgrade. I would say it's worth every penny. If you're going to end up tracking the car at all or having more power in the car, you should have better brakes. So far, I'm pretty happy with them. I guess we'll know more when we get to an autocross day or a track day or anything like that, and see how they hold up over time. So let them cool off for 10-15 minutes, and then we'll hit it again real hard and see what it looks like. see how the brakes work out a little bit. We'll get up to a little bit higher speed. Looks like all 4 calipers are working. I had a little bit of a fear that the front passenger side caliper, sorry, I'm super dark right now. I had a little bit of a fear that the front passenger side caliper was going to be locked up. I had some trouble with it. It didn't look like both pistons were moving in it. So, looks like it's okay. I wish I would have brought my thermometer, my laser thermometer. I can check it when I'm at home and I can make sure all the rotors are about the same temperature because they should be. So, we'll stop a little bit better from higher speeds and see how they feel. Perfect night to drive. Running good. Hopefully that window is letting you hear the exhaust and not just air. Sorry if it is. Alright, we'll throw up the anchor here about 55 miles an hour and see what they feel like. Oh yeah. Yeah, they stop like right now. I wasn't totally mashing the brake pedal, you know, to the floor, but I stopped pretty hard and it stopped 100 times better than it did last summer. It was literally scary last summer. I didn't like driving the car fast. I knew there was no brakes. So these I'd say are comparable to like a bad C6 brake setup in a C6. It's really apples and oranges, but for an F-body, these brakes are pretty good. You know, just a pad and rotor upgrade. Tomorrow morning, a Strano Master Cylinder Brace should be showing up. And on these cars, the Master Cylinder, when you hit the brake pedal, actually moves quite a bit from the factory. And I'll show you how bad this one moves. So I'll hop in the car real quick. This will give you a good idea of how much this Master Cylinder moves without the brace. That should hold it more rigidly in place. So as you can see, mine doesn't move quite as bad as one you might see in a product video, but it does move up and down. Look to be maybe a quarter inch or so. Hopefully for $100 it should give me a little bit more firm feeling in the brake pedal. So that in conjunction with these Hawks pads and StopTech rotors, it should be a pretty good little braking setup on the car. A newer, more popular option that people have been starting to put on these is an ATS-V caliper from a Cadillac. Now I could be wrong, flame away in the comments, but I believe they're 4-piston calipers, but they do have about the same size brake pad in them from the factory, so you're not getting a larger braking area. I believe the rotors are about the same size as well, or it would fit the stock F-body rotor. I really don't know. Back in the day, a lot of people would put Cadillac CTS-V rotors on their cars, and that was really popular, but it's also very expensive. So this is going to be a happy compromise, in my opinion. So hopefully, all things told, it'll be pretty dialed in for this summer as far as braking goes. Already from that quick drive that I did, it feels 100 times better than it did last year, so I'm very, very happy with the results. I think next time, I'm going to be looking into wherever this leak is coming from. It's somewheres in this area. I'm guessing power steering, if I had to guess. It's kind of what it looked like on the ground. Had a little puddle when I parked too, out in the driveway there. So it's definitely leaking, not sure what exactly. Looks to be coming from the cap again. Really hope that's what it's from, but you know, I'd be lucky if it was. So if you liked today's video, why don't you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment if you have any questions. I'm real good about getting back to everybody on that kind of stuff and trying to keep people informed and in the loop on what's going on with the car and these cars in general. try and be helpful. A lot of stuff I learned is from LS1 Techs. If you have questions, maybe just go there. All these things have been asked a million times before. So I guess that's all for this video, and we'll see you next time.